Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. It's Chad Hyams here, finally being joined once again by Bob Stewart over there. Bob, how are you doing today?
You know, normally when I see interview, I'm like, Chad can handle it. But today I saw interview and then I started poking around and like, I like people that like to go out and like make business happen. Like they are the people that go and like utilize the internet to find commerce. I think we've got a guest that kind of lines up with that. So I'm here, Chad. I'm excited. Let's go.
Bob, before we, yes, he's got that. Yet the information I got sent over from Todd, he's wearing a giant squid hat. I mean, as soon as I saw the image, I was like, okay, I don't care what this guy's talking about. It's going to be a fun episode. So, folks, I think we're going to have a good time. I guarantee you Bob's going to mention something in our guest's background, because it's very eclectic back there. And hopefully along the way, as in every Win, Make, Give episode, you will find something of value to take away.
Gumby? Do I see Gumby's legs hanging?
You do see Gumby's legs, like, the Joker to your left.
That was messing me up because I thought that was in the background. That's actually in the foreground. And now, yes. Okay, I see.
And Skeletor. I believe I see Skeletor on the other side of Gumby there. Yes.
You got He-Man, Skeletor, Stretch Armstrong, Gumby, Parachute Guy.
Okay, so we will definitely dive into some of that in a moment.
80s icons everywhere on that microphone. 80s.
You've heard his voice now. Let's bring him into the call. I'm going to pass the test. Let's welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast, Todd Schuchart. Todd, welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate you. Glad I'm here.
Tell us a little bit about you other than we've already shared. You're clearly a guy with a personality. We don't read bios on our show. We think bios suck. They're written by ChatGPT to make us all sound wonderful. Give us who you really are, Todd.
God, that's a loaded question. Hang on, let me pull up GPT and see if I can't get a little assistance here. Who am I, AI? Who am I? A serial entrepreneur, school to hard knocks, sales guy to my bones, and serial smart,
Well, you started with cereal and with all the stuff you had, but I thought you literally were going to say serial eater and toy collector or something is where I thought you were going with that.
I wish I could still eat cereal, truthfully. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work with my ability to see my feet. So we don't eat cereal anymore.
Mine's the milk. At some point in I was 42 years old and one day I could drink milk and the next day my body was like, nope, you're done with that.
I've been there. I wake myself up if I drink milk in the middle of the night with some very strange sounds,
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep this in the rails here. ChatGPT has rails that supposedly keep us safe and what it'll talk about. We're going to do the same thing, and that'll be my job. Bob, I usually give you question number one. So you've done some stalking. We know you have. Where do you want to start with for Todd here today?
Todd, so you have been somebody, I've been somebody, I'll start with me. Chad, we've been somebody very focused in one industry, like for our entire careers, essentially. And for a long portion of that, it was all about how do I generate a lead in real estate? If I'm a real estate agent, how do I go out and generate a lead in real estate? You are somebody that have done this in a different industry than us, but I would assume, given your age and kind of how long I've seen you've been doing this, like you've been doing this in the life insurance industry for a really long time, right?
I've been in the life space now for about 5 years.
Okay, 5. So not a super long time, but ultra focused on like generating business for insurance agents, essentially, right? And that is what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a great question.
That's a wide open question I think sometimes we get so stuck in our own industry and so just, blinders up to anything else out there. And we think we know so much. And these insurance guys, they don't know nothing about my real estate customer. When the reality is we're all just trying to find people that need our service. So I think there's a lot to be learned as we look at different industries and the way that they do it.
So Todd, let me streamline what Bob's asking a little bit for you here. Okay. Because we know there's many channels to generate business. And we've talked about, Bob and I originally, way back when, it was blogging was the channel we talked about, right? Social media became the channel we talked about. AI is now a channel that has to be talked about. In between there was Google SEO was a channel that had to be talked. Let's pick a channel. We can do all of them. Yet let's pick a channel and focus which channel you want to go down first, just so we have some guide rails to keep the conversation moving.
You know, I think it's a great topic. So first off, I originally worked in major media, so I've probably run ads and segmented audiences for pretty much every SIC code you can think of in my career. I like businesses that are leads centric. Like you if you don't have them, you don't survive, right? That's
Is there a sales business that isn't that?
I think if you get into some of the MRR stuff and the reoccurring things, you can build a book to a point where you can kind of just ride off into the sunset, right? And that's not really where I've spent a lot of my time. I feel like everybody thinks so linear, like it's just, this is my niche, this is what I do, this is how I do it. And the reality is, the only thing that's different between what I'm doing now and what you all are doing is the product. Right. Yep. So the first thing is it's the mindset. So I am not an insurance guy. You're not real estate guys. I'm not a sneaker. I'm a marketer. I just happen to be marketing this particular service at this moment. And I think
tomorrow you could change services and you could say, I'm going to now market for loans. I'm going to now market for real estate. I'm going to market for sneaker sales. Just like any of us should be able to take the skills we have in our industry. And as if we're looking at it the right way, we could easily jump to another industry and say, okay, same thing, just different target person.
100% every single time.
What's the most successful avenue you have found in today's world? Maybe not over time, because it used to be this, what's the most successful avenue right now to generate opportunities, whatever industry you're in looking for an opportunity?
So there's a two-part answer to that. It's local and regional, or local and national, right? Okay. So let's talk local. I still think that the big push for local is maps. Rendering yourself locally to a local search is still got a ton of value to it. Now, I love that space. I've scaled up a couple of businesses. I've scaled up some friend shops using just the Maps 3-pack. It's relatively easy to do, especially when you're local, because a lot of people don't understand it or don't put in the work to do it. I love the maps piece. So I think maps for local is a great space. The other thing that I really like for local is Instagram. Those when you combine maps and the gram together, you have
I'm liking it.
You have an incredible local lead approach where people can find you, right? It's all about, because if you're finding me, if I'm not disrupting you and you're finding me, my lead quality is much higher. So what we see a lot of times, and this is the part that gets me the most, is guys or girls will work really hard to get that local presence and then they don't return phone calls.
Oh, what a waste, right?
What are you doing? You just worked. I know you worked hard because you were in the top 3, and now you're not answering your phone or calling anybody back. Like, is business that good? And if it is, then why aren't you selling this phone call to the guy sitting next to you that's had the same pants on for 3 days because he hasn't figured out how to eat yet? So locally, I think that's the play. Nationally, if you're trying to grow a national brand, I absolutely, and we're talking organic, gang. We can get into paid in a second, but from an organic standpoint, I am a huge fan of YouTube. Specifically long form content that I can repurpose and syndicate into shorts. So here's what I've figured out. And this is, it's funny, you do things and you're like, oh, I'm having a little success here. And you don't realize you're stumbling on a formula. One of the things I love about YouTube is you can shoot these long form content videos off of things you've created with GTP, put into a real easy follow along kind of entertaining PowerPoint where you're teaching one specific thing. If you don't have a live audience, it doesn't matter. Then you can take and truncate that into 60-second segments, load it into YouTube Shorts. I pick up about 3 subs a day off of my shorts. I post 1 a day. I post it every day on my YouTube channel at 3 o'clock Monday through Friday. That's your peak time for YouTube. absolutely crushes it. The things that you want to do when you do your YouTube posts, in your description, you always include all of your links, including your YouTube channel link. Sounds stupid. Like, why would you put your YouTube channel link on your YouTube channel? Because YouTube, by design, teaches theft. Share this video, embed this video, take this video and put it on your own website. Don't give anybody credit. So what do we do for our SEO in a way to make sure that we're getting what we need off of that? We embed all of our contact info as the first thing we do in every single one of our YouTube videos, whether it's a short or long format. Because now when you put it on your website,
just put that anywhere, Bob Stewart.
I just spilled all over my desk. It's fine. It's fine. Keep
and
going.
I don't know if everybody knows, but that's like 80 gallons of Hello Kitty that just hit the floor. So
wait, okay, hold on. Can we put a pin in this? Because let's come back to Todd and the shorts and putting the links in the description. I never, like, my wife and I both work from home, and I was running behind to my first call this morning, and so I'm like, honey, can you make my coffee? This is what she handed me on the run down the stairs, and Todd just outed me. I have a 48-gallon Hello Kitty tumbler that is as big as my whole body that I'm drinking from, and I just spilled it. Luckily, it has a top. It didn't really spill, but yeah, thanks, Todd.
No, listen, I think that giant pink sippy cup is right on brand.
The more you know, Bob, the more you'd be accurate with it.
I absolutely love it. So that's what I like for national, when I'm trying to build audience and all that kind of fun stuff for organic.
Okay, so Bob, you were our organic leader for so many years in online presence development. There's got to be 3 to 5 questions in what Todd just shared, or clarification that you're looking for yourself, just to start bringing to other people.
Oh, I mean, I'm big believer in like local content, Chad. Like, we built companies and in many ways my whole career off of local content. From a blogging perspective, Todd, way back in 2003, 4, 5, when these things were emerging as business tools, especially in real estate. I'm a little bit fascinated by Instagram. Like, as a local, I look, big Instagram user. Like, I'm on there, I'm scrolling every night. I'm posting pictures of my kids' basketball chat. I had to get that one in. As a local business owner, what am I doing on Instagram? Am I just, showing them my day? Like, I see a lot of real estate agents that kind of show me their day. Am I highlighting my product? Am I
highlighting locations?
Am I solving problems my customers have, like, on Instagram? Like, what is the strategy there for the content I'm producing?
Yes.
All those things. Okay.
I knew it was one of those.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing. It's like, I'm following on Instagram. Where are we doom scrolling the most?
Instagram.
Anybody know?
Facebook.
No. I mean, where physically are you located?
On the couch.
Oh, I'm sitting on my sofa or the bathroom.
There it is, right there. So 10 years ago, 35% of all traffic came off of the toilet for mobile. Imagine how much more that is now that mobile is really your predominant search vehicle, right? So you think about the entertainment factor. So the first thing is, personality is everything. I need to know, like, and trust you if I'm going to do anything with you. So a picture of a front door with a wreath on it, I don't know you. I don't really care about that. Now, if you're showing me, there's a guy who does these 1-minute videos, young kid, and he runs through these houses. And somebody's running behind you like, this is the fridge, this is this is that. And in 60 seconds, you're through. And I watch every one of them. And I'm like, just love it. I'm not buying a house. I don't even know where he works or lives, but I watch his content. You have to be different. You got to be engaging, and you have to have some variety in what you're doing. So if I'm going to know, like, and trust you, then some family stuff is appropriate. Property stuff is appropriate. You guys know your business. What's painful for your customers? Talk about that. Demystify the process. First-time home buyers, terrified, right? What should I be looking for? Like, hey, we just inspected this house and they crawled underneath and found mold. And what does that mean? Like, what does mold look like? We
don't say that word.
There's so much stuff you guys could do to help. And then if you're running out of content, interview people, interview a customer, interview a home inspector, interview a roofing company. Interview people, educate them on roof pitches. Hey, you know, when you're looking at a house and the roof's a little wonky and it's a 12-12 pitch, it's going to be more expensive than a 6-12 to fix. What does that even mean? Give them the value in the little pieces and the little snippets here and there, but be fun about it. That stupid squid hat that I've got, it was $2 at a 5 and dime store. I've gotten more traction off of that hat than anything else I think that I've done. And it's just goofy. You know, and you know that when we talk, I know what I'm doing so I can get away with it, but we're also going to have fun doing it. Right. And if you're not that person, you're not my person. And
there are some straight-laced people out there in the world, though, who would look at that kid running through the house and be like, he's too fast. He's not the kid. So, I mean, don't worry about it. It's be you, because you'll attract those who then know, like, and trust you from the connection. And we have to realize, and I think this is a challenge for anybody in any sales industry, Todd, and correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody thinks they have to be the be all and end all for everybody instead of saying, no, this is my clientele. There's enough of them out there for me to work only with this type of person.
If you sell to everybody, you sell to nobody. That is it. You've got to niche down and you've got to get your people coming to you because, one, your life will be much better, right? Working with like-minded people that appreciate you, your sense of humor, and your content is everything. For the guy that irons his underwear, that's not my guy. Right? We are not going to do well together because he's going to ask questions and I'm going to be like, I'm done with this. Right? And it's just not going to go well. So I think that, and this goes back to blogging. You guys know this, right? And back in the day, you had to find your voice and then you write to one person. You don't write to the world. You write to one person. And if you do that, it will resonate with the masses so much more than just this blanket generic, the housing market. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a house. I don't care about where am I going to live? Right. It's that kind of thing. It's niche it down, be specific, be yourself.
Chad, I think of, so we had back in, this is 2006 or 7 in the blogging world. There was a lady named Courtney Cooper. She's still a good friend of mine. In fact, Chad, I talked to her a week ago. She decided, and she's kind of kicking and screaming. I mean, that's a little aggressive, but I kind of forced her. I'm like, look, I called her one day. She's writing about she's a real estate agent. She can help everybody in the whole world, Todd. Yeah. And I'm like, first off, that's never going to get found. Like that type of content back in 2006 and 7 and 8 on the internet, like you couldn't just write like, I'm a great real estate agent or, you need a real estate agent. Like, so I'm like, what do you love, Courtney? Like, what about real estate? And she's like, I really like houseboats. Like we live here in Seattle, right? It's the Harry Met Sally, the houseboats. And she's like, I really love houseboats. And I'm like, awesome. Why don't you start blogging about houseboats? And look, all these years later, like she did it kind of reluctantly in the beginning. But what started to happen is people would find her because in our area, you just said it, it's like the dream of owning a houseboat. Guess what? Nobody owns friggin' houseboats around here. There's like 50 of them on Lake Union, but everybody, the idea and the dream of living there. So she would attract clients to her that had this dream of living in a houseboat. But guess what they'd buy? A single family in Ravenna, right? They'd buy a condo downtown Seattle. Like very rarely do those people buy a houseboat, but she established a brand here in Seattle. Seattle Afloat's her brand. She built a brokerage around it. Chad, I actually spoke to her recently because she opened her own boutique brokerage, Seattle Afloat, here in the area. But it was counterintuitive to what she wanted to do, which was attract a whole bunch of people. But when she niched down, it actually attracted people that were like her. They had a dream of living on a houseboat one day, but they don't. People here don't do that, right? She talks to them and then they realize they got all this work you got to do. And every 5 years you got to jack it up. And like,
the basement's always full of water.
So Todd, let me ask this what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Do we sit down and say, I want to work with X type of client. I want former military. I want first-time home buyer. I want retiree. Or do we say, I'm going to just be me. I'm going to figure out who I am, which is probably the hardest thing for anybody to do. Yet say, I'm going to just be me and see who gets attracted to that.
Yeah, again, yes. You know, I think it comes down. It's a little bit of both. So the first thing you got to do is you got to create content, and in that process, you're going to find your voice, and that takes a minute, and you're going to be clunky, and it's going to suck, and that's okay. Because even if you look at Ed Sheeran's first video ever posted, like, you would never ever think that guy would be on the radio. It was horrific, and he even says it. And he left that video on YouTube for a reason. It's to show people that this is work. You know, when I first did my first video, I don't even know how many years ago now, my wife was laughing at me. She's like, give me the script, I'll do it. And as soon as the light came on and the camera went, she turned bright red. I'm like, why are you sunburned all of a sudden? Not as easy once you get in the game as it is on the sidelines, right? And what has to happen is you've got to develop your rhythm. You've got to get comfortable in front of this thing, talking to this thing, not perspirating or getting so dry in your mouth that your tongue doesn't come off your roof of your mouth.
Okay.
And I think what happens is you organically start to drive yourself into a direction.
Okay.
So
where does AI fit into all of it in today's world? Let's just touch on that before there's something else I definitely want to get to.
Okay, AI is not you. That's the first thing to remember.
A lot of vowels right there.
AI is not you. Yeah, it is. But I'm kind of Italian, so I can get away with it. My mom had a beard. I'm good. What I will tell you, though, is that AI is an incredible tool as a reference tool or as a shine it up tool, right? I think it's real easy to let AI write it all. The problem is that's not you. I'm not knowing, like, and trusting, or not getting to know, like, and trust you. I'm getting to know, like, and trust AI. So when you and I meet and you're not the same, like your picture from, high school and you're now 40 and that's what you put on your dating site, I'm going to walk right by at the coffee shop kind of thing, right? It's the same idea. So I would tell you is it's a great spot to find inspiration. It's a great spot to put some shine on what you're trying to do. If you're struggling trying to figure out how to attach FOMO to your messaging, it's a great place to go and get some suggestions. If you're trying to write a clickbait hook for a YouTube short and you're struggling to do it in 70 characters, great spot to go. But you've got your core message is coming from you. And that's the important piece. So I will tell everybody it's a tool. It's not a replacement for. We say we build sales enablement tools to enable salespeople to close more deals, not to replace them. And that's the key. You have to position this thing right. It's like an artist that has somebody stand in front of them while they paint. My wife's an artist. She knows what people look like, but she still has models and all that, because for the things she's working and the angle and the light, whatever that might be, it's a reference to help inspire where she wants to take this thing. It's the same thing. You are a creator. This is art. You're creating. Your canvas is a little bit different than a paint canvas, but you're still in this creative thing. You still have to use these tools to help you. Writer's block doesn't exist anymore. Here's what I'm trying to do, GPT. I'm stuck in writer's block. Give me 4 or 5 bullet points to get started with, and then you flow. Right? And that's where I really feel like, outside of using them to help you code and to develop business tools, that's where I feel like these AI tools are actually just an absolute godsend. Versus utilizing them to write everything, I think you're missing the boat.
That's a great explanation, I think.
Yeah, it really is. And it doesn't make me feel like Skynet just came to life. Okay, so Bob does a lot of the behind the scenes. He cyber stalks usually our guests a little bit, learn strange things about them that he sometimes brings up. I'm the one who usually gets the one sheet sent over to me. Folks, if you don't know a one sheet, right, it's one sheet, right? And it gives me the highlights of who we're going to talk to and things. And I really loved on yours, it says, right, you've got a few little categories. It says suggested things to talk with Todd about. And it's got using social media, entrepreneurship, sales that anybody can sell, not being an asshole. I like that one. We're going to come back to that one, right? And then business strategy and then closing. So before we go to the not being an asshole one, I want to talk about this closing because I think you've got a very interesting take on the sales close, which we have such a large real estate, mortgage based, whatever it is, sales industry listening to the podcast. Can you talk a little bit about closing?
Yeah, I'd love to. Closing isn't where does it happen is the question, really. It's not do we or don't we. It's where does closing happen? And everybody thinks it's a bookend. right? And it's the final chapter in this process we're doing. And when you get there, you better be ready to battle, baby, because you're going to have rebuttals, and you're going to have to sidestep, and you're going to have to come back, and you're going to have to do it 5 times because the resistance will be there because you created the resistance. See, closing doesn't happen at the end. And if you don't believe me, and you think it does, and you hear things like, I need to think about it, pray about it, talk to someone else about it, you miss the boat. Closing happens the second you open your mouth. And that's it. You win and lose your call at the opening every single time. It just really chaps my ass when somebody says, don't go building, small talk's not going to do any good for you. That increases your close rates by 30%. It's been proven over and over and over and over again. Harvard, I think, did the last study. So when you're opening your calls and you're getting to know somebody, it is not about business. It is about them and you shutting the hell up and listening to understand what they're actually telling you.
I used to take it even upstream of that, Chad. For probably 2 years, every place partner that I met with, and it was this opportunity to try to close them to partner with us, I would and Chad knows this, I would either go buy, or I already had in my collection, a hat that was from their area of the country. And I just had a lady the other day tell me, she's like, I'll never forget the first time I ever met you. You showed up on a Zoom call with us with a Cleveland Cavaliers hat on. She's like, it blew me away. Like, I don't give a rat's ass about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Sorry, Amanda, if you're listening. But like, I wanted to connect with her. I wanted her. It was the small talk, and I didn't even have to say anything. Sorry to interrupt, but I think you're totally on point.
No, but that's the type of stuff. And this isn't, everybody's like, okay, I'm in sales mode now. That's your biggest mistake. Sales is not a mode, and it's not a thing. We're just connecting. Stop trying to sell and start connecting with some people.
Because if they know, like, and trust you, you've already closed.
You can screw everything up. It's amazing what you can screw up if somebody knows you, likes you, and trusts you. And what you can do to back channel on that build to fix something or a problem or an issue maybe that you created in the process, or a misunderstanding. So when we open sales calls, it's you got 4 seconds to win them over, and it's really simple. You don't do what everybody else does and just start puking all over somebody. You just, hey, Bob, how's it going? What are you doing? Where are you calling in from today? Oh, you're in Seattle. Man, I love Seattle. It's one of my favorite cities. And then and then it's just, so what got you on the call? What are we looking to do today? And what am I doing there? I need Bob to tell me why the hell he's talking to me. I've got to get Bob's why. And inside of his why, I need to find some pain. Because I'm the relief, right? And if I don't get Bob's why, then I don't get Bob. And the problem with that is that we miss it a lot of times. Because what I'm doing now is I just ask Bob, oh, what got you on the call with me today? Bob's talking, and I'm thinking, all right, now I'm going to ask him about this thing. Oh, I'm going to ask him this. And what am I not doing? I'm not listening to understand what the hell Bob is actually saying to me. So Bob might have called me about a houseboat, but the more we're talking, Bob's like, I really want a basement. Well, we all know you can't have that in a houseboat. So we know Bob's not really a houseboat guy. He's a house guy. So we can start moving in that direction. And if I keep listening, whatever you have for your client, that you do, or the data that you need to gather, you're going to get probably 50 to 60% of that just by shutting up and letting Bob tell you. And you just take notes. And the only reason that you're taking notes is because you're listening to understand. And once we do that, then we transition into business. So Bob, let me tell you how this process works. And now we're off and running. And if I'm smart and I get good at this, I take all that stuff I just learned about Bob and I start reincorporating that into how my process works. So I'm making it very customized to Bob. And Bob is like, wow, this dude really listened to me. He understands what I'm looking for. There is nobody else in this planet right now that Bob is going to work with other than me, because Bob and I made a connection. I listened and Bob knows it. And that is how you close. That is it. If you're waiting to the end, you screwed this whole thing up. It is not where it happens. You guys know it. You ever walk by somebody, you just want to punch them? They didn't even say anything to you.
Every time I walk near Bob.
I was going to say the joke, but I figured I'd let you pull it out.
Yeah, there you go, right?
But I do like that you have a place hat on, and that really is, I'm in a place, so I feel connected to you already.
See, it works.
Every time that freaking
Where are you? Where physically, Todd, in the United States? Where are you?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, that might be a tough one for me. South Carolina. I don't know that
Might not have it handy.
I pulled out. I got a whole host of them just here under my desk.
If it's listen, I'll give you. You can do George Hincapie. He's my local cycling pro, or you can do.
We should be talking because the Vuelta is on right now. I'm missing the replay of today's stage while I'm recording this with you. Do not ruin the team time trial for me. Although it'll be done well by the time this drops.
Oh yeah, wow, that was the nerdiest cycling thing I've ever been.
What's he talking about?
That was the nerdiest cycling thing I've ever been a part of. Like, I can barely stand up right now. What did you say?
I feel bad for you because we could want to go cycling. Let's talk cycling.
Todd and I can talk all day now. We just connected. Okay.
Do you guys wear those spandex when you cycle?
I have them on right now.
I just wear them for fun, Bob. I mean, don't most people.
Chad's playing pickleball in his spandex. I know it.
It's the chamois cream that really does it for me. That's when I know I'm awake.
I said there was one other thing I wanted to get to. Our founder one of the founders of Place, the founder of the Women Make Give podcast, Ben Kinney, our friend who created this whole thing with us, came out on stage, and Bob, let me get the words right. It said, "Don't be an asshole."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He came out on stage one day at a huge conference wearing a shirt that just said, "Don't be an asshole." Now, everybody ran out and bought the shirt. They wanted to wear a shirt that said it. They don't necessarily understand it the same way as Ben he was meaning it. Yet I want to hear your take on it because it's listed right here on suggested topics from Bob to talk to Todd about. Let's talk about that. What do you mean when you say this should be taught in school to people? Teach our audience, because even though I've now said the word asshole a few times, there are kids in the back seat right now listening, and mom's like, "Chad, stop saying the word." Yet, Todd, talk to our people, salespeople, and the next generation that are going to hear you talk about this.
I don't know if we have enough time about, it's such a big, cavernous kind of conversation for sure. Did you get all those puns?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I did. Bob's still writing them down.
Bob's in a plate. Don't worry about it. He'll be all right. I like the, that's it. It's just don't be an asshole. I would say something else. Normally it's like a derivative of Richard, but for me as a seller, I draw some lines in the sand, and I hold them. So I look at it like this. What I do is inviting somebody into what I sell or what I'm servicing is my sandbox. Inside of my sandbox, I have rules. If you want to come and play in my sandbox, you are more than welcome to. But if you turn out to be an asshole, you're taking your shovel and your little bucket and you're going home. And those are things like, you're not going to pull me off of the line when I have a definitive thing that we're trying to do. Now, like I said, conversational selling, there's still sales structure and strategy involved in these things, right? Like I'm still bringing you through a narrative. I'm bringing you through the experience, and I'm not, we're not burping and farting on each other the minute we meet, right? This takes a while to get to that stage. It's kind of the same idea. So you don't let people be an asshole to you by pulling you out of your momentum. Listen, I know I've got to understand what's going on with Chad because I'm going to try and sell him something. I need to find that pain for him. If Chad tells me, "What's the number?" You're not my guy. We're going to find out what we need to do first, because I don't know what your number is yet, because I don't even know if I can do anything for you. If you're going to be an asshole about it, you can leave. And vice versa, right? It's the same exact thing when you're servicing somebody or you're trying to win them as a client. It's the same thing. You have to understand, salespeople a lot of times are yes men. Yes, yeah, oh yeah, we can do, oh yeah, we can't do that. We've never done that. I'd have to redevelop the whole system to do what you just said we can do. And it's because we have this fear that we're not going to be able to eat because we aren't going to close the deal. And we already talked about how that happens, right?
Yep.
And they start going off the rails. And what you say is what's expected now. And the problem is, the perception we have is that we say something and we feel like it's a hard line in the sand. So we pad it because that's what we're good at. We're good at crafting the way that we can say things so they can be manipulated a little bit in our favor. The problem with that is you're setting an expectation that is never going to be fulfilled, and the chargeback or the cancellation and the bad review, they're all coming for you. It's just a matter of when. So for me, it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of the customer. It's a little bit of holding the line. And it's a lot of assessing the situation and realizing who you do and don't want to be in business with.
You gave me a wider definition of asshole than maybe I've ever considered in my career. Seriously, because in my head, an asshole is just somebody that's mean and nasty, and I don't really want to be around them. But you said, in my sandbox, I got people that come in there and they pull me away from my focus. That person's an asshole too. They might do it kindly,
but that's the worst asshole. Because the other one, that's a smokescreen 9 out of 10 times. I'm going to be an asshole right now because I don't want to buy anything, right? And our job then, for me, that's when the game begins. That's when I like to have fun. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get you. You're gonna loosen up. You're gonna drop your guard. You're gonna smile. We're gonna laugh, and then this asshole persona is gonna go back in your wallet for the next guy that isn't strong enough to push through. So I don't think the smokescreen asshole has any validity to it. I think it's just that.
Yeah, but it's the person that agrees to meet with you and then no shows you 3 times in a row. Like that asshole. Even if they were kind when they said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you're sitting at the coffee shop and I'm not going to be there, but I didn't tell you in advance." Like that's the real asshole that we're talking about.
And for me, I'm one and done. You do that once, we're never talking again. Unless your leg fell off and you've got stitches to prove that they put it back on. You're not my customer. I've got too much going on to care about you not being able to get to where you're supposed to be.
We get stuck with these customers though because we don't have backup. Like I see this all the time in real estate. Should we see this all the time, Chad?
We have to get to the close to be able to eat. Like
I got one listing and they're running me around. They're a total a-hole. They won't take any advice from me, but I can't give them up because I need that paycheck because I don't have 5 more listings in the wings.
But that's the fake it till you make it piece, right? You got to grind it out. And sometimes the best deals we do, guys, are the ones we don't do. And it's going to be
again for us, Todd.
It's the best deals we do are the ones we don't do. So a lot of times. And what you're going to find is when you take those, and we all do it, we've all done it, you're going to regret it forever. And what happens is that happens to you once, you don't do it again. Because if you do, that's your life. And I'm not going to let some asshole run me around in circles. It's just
I've only in the last 3 years been more vocal inside our company about not doing that. I'm like, hey, red flag. And before I would have been like, maybe I told one person or two. And then later I'd be like, see, I told you so. We should have never had that person as our customer. I'm a lot more vocal now just because I've seen the wreckage. I've seen the time they suck up. I've seen the bad review they still leave, even though you bent over backwards for them all along the way. Right. Like it definitely gets easier to spot the asshole, but I like that more broad definition of it. Like, don't let those people in your world that are just, they don't,
Okay. Before I bring this to an end, saleschowder.com is the website, like the soup, right? Saleschowder.com.
Oh, chowder, no soup.
No soup for you.
Runs right through you. Chowder sticks to your ribs. It gives you the sustenance you need to go out and know, like, and trust some shit.
Absolutely. If they want to get a hold of you, Todd, what's the best way if they have more questions, want to follow up, want to learn about the services that you possibly provide, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, saleschowder.com is probably the best spot right now. We are pre-launch. We are building AI sales enablement tools. So if you need custom work or any of that kind of fun stuff done, you can find me there. You can do Todd at Sales Chowder. That's a real easy one. That's my email. .com at the end.
Hopefully they all got that by now. All right.
You don't want the customer, by the way, that doesn't know that's how it works.
So, if you don't know the right postage for that email, I probably shouldn't send it to me.
You're not Todd's client. All right. Todd, I'm going to give you 30 seconds on the clock. I don't care if you repeat something you already said or if it's something we didn't even get to that's on your heart you want to share with our audience. Final words, basically, before I then do the wrap up that everybody cancels and turns off before they hear me say it anyway. Final 30 seconds are you. What do you got?
Practice disruption. That's it. You're a disruptor. That's what you do. Everywhere you go, practice disrupting. Get people to pull them out of their focus of what they're stuck in to focus on what you're saying. Because that translates to opening your sales calls, and that translates to what we already talked about. Closing happens at the open. And if I can't pull you into me and disrupt whatever else is going on in your head to make you focus on what we're about to do, you're never going to get there. So disruption is the secret sauce.
All right. That's Todd Schuchart from saleschowder.com, folks, if you want to reach out to him. Thank you so much for covering so much today for us, reiterating some things we knew and need to be reminded of, bringing some new things to focus for us that we all need to pay attention to moving forward. Folks, join us in our Facebook group, Win, Make, Give. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss episodes like this. And share the episode with someone, because there's someone who needs to learn something you heard from Todd today. And until our next episode, as always, do good.